Well, I mean, first of all,
I don't like to say cheap. It's very economical because it's not cheap.
I'll also send you the list of 16 referrals that the restaurant should be giving you.
Okay, that would be great because
They
I
all have
knew.
accountants. They all have accountants. They all have lawyers. They all have cleaning services, plumbers. They have
Thank
clients
you.
that come there for breakfast or lunch every day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
this is what I prepared. It's like a thing, and so they can scan and get to the website.
I loved your website, by the way.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Great job.
So let me tell you how I made that website. I used Claude, and then I bought Claude vibe coded it for me, and then it gave me the index files, and then I bought because I know a little bit, I little bit about it. So it gave me the 2 index files, and I put it in the folder properly, and then I put it up on this thing called Netlify. I think I can send it to you guys. Free hosting. It's free.
Awesome.
I had to pay for the domain. You can't have complex sites there. It's like one pagers. You know what I mean? Like a 1-page something. So that's how I did that.
Well, you need-
I did suggest a modification on that for you.
I will take the suggestion. Thank you.
Because down at the bottom it says you have 6. You have the menu on the front and the 6 ads on the back, and that's not how it is.
I think I got that from Dan's site, so I need to change that. Yeah. Right, Dan? Is that where I got that?
There's 3 on the bottom of each.
3 on the bottom, yeah.
So. I sent you a sample of what it looks like, so you'll see it.
And Dan can send me some PDFs of the physical copies are super helpful, and then I can email them out to the advertisers. Hey,
did I send any to you, or do you want some?
You send me the physical copies, but I'll get some PDFs from you.
Okay,
when you have a chance.
Good.
You know what I mean? When you have a chance.
If you want PDFs, I can send them to you.
I think this is a great lead-in. Ron and I already had this discussion. I don't have to say this out loud. I think this is a great lead-in to what we're working on with the directories.
It's a perfect. It's a database. If you like this, let me show you what else I can do.
Right now, we're doing this. I just think between everybody that's on it, so
I mean, if you do it correctly, what you really need to do is just become an expert at getting the leads from the restaurant owner, because they have all the leads, right? They have the plumber, they have the electrician. Every restaurant has air conditioning problems. They have a HVAC guy in their back pocket.
But we don't want their grease trap person, right? We don't want that. So
they always have bathroom issues because people are always clogging the toilets.
Plumbing.
So they're gonna have a plumber. They're gonna have an electrician.
Yeah, electrician.
Yeah.
Janitorial.
So to give you an idea of how this is all going to pan out, I'm going to share something with you guys. This is really, really cool. So here's the directory. Hot off the presses, went out in the mail yesterday. You see that? There's the front. Then there's the back of the mailing section. This went to 4,873 homes yesterday. All right, here's cool. So I get a call this morning from Ron at Auto Labs. And he goes, I didn't know about this. And I go, we tried to get a hold of you. He goes, well, I wanted to be in this. And I go, Ron, we tried you like 3 times, left business cards for you. You didn't call us. I'm sorry. Well, is this it? Or are you going to do it again? Yeah, we're coming out in 6 months. He said, well, then I want to be in the next one. Okay, that's fine. He goes, what else are you guys doing that I don't know about?
Glad you asked.
So I said, have you seen our postcard come in your mailbox? He goes, yeah. I said, how come you're not in that? Because I we do the graphics for that. I don't see you in the postcard. He says, well, I will. Just got to get a hold of me. I says, well, I got your number right here. I'm going to give you a call. So that was my first phone call this morning. That was my very first phone call of the day. And I hung up and I just sat there and smiled. I said, that was fun. So I think we're going to get more of those. I think we're going to get some people that are going to be going, hey, I've got this kind of a business, so, but on to other markets and get them going. So anyways, I just want to share that with you guys. So if you guys want a handful of these, I'll send them to you. Just got to let me
Yes.
know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Por favor.
Okay. Well, I think that's French, isn't it?
Spanish. S'il vous plaît.
Oh, right. S'il vous plaît is French. Por favor is Spanish.
And Miss Piggy says, "Excusez-moi."
Yeah, and I got to tell you something. I took French for 3 years in my high school. I can't remember. Like I remember Emponcila's pencil, so I got that one down pat.
There you go.
Oh my God! You know the things that we forget. You know, I forget more than I can remember. But anyways, so on my list, I want to share something with you guys. Just this is kind of a little bit motivational, but something that I carry with me a lot. And Henry Ford, I think, said it first because he was a little boy and he had this dream of because when Henry Ford was a kid, they didn't have cars; they had horse and buggy, and he had this dream of horseless carriages. And he was trying to envision how they would take steam engines and put them in some kind of a vehicle. And of course, as he got older, he had all these different designs and drawings. But he eventually got interviewed when he was in his last years, and they said, "How did you ever come up with that? What made you start that?" And he says, "Well, he says every reality is first a dream." And think about that, whether it's a computer, whether it's a computer chip, whether it's the desk that you're sitting at, somebody had to think that up and dream that design or think of that idea before it became a reality. And so my point is that what we're working on here with the Home Source Directory, it's now becoming a reality. It's first a dream, and now it's becoming a reality. And my dream is, if we can make this happen and be in almost every community in this country, that would be an amazing reality that started with a dream. So that's what we're working on. And we're all a part of that, right? Isn't that cool? I don't know if Brian is on here. I don't know if he showed up yet or not. I had a question for him, but apparently not. I wanted to get with him because we got his website set up. And that is now up and running and working, and I just got to work with him on his email. Came up with a pretty cool thing today I want to share with you guys on a marketing idea, and we can kick it around a little bit. But as Greg and I were talking, I got inspired a little bit by an idea of doing an actual weekly, whether it's weekly or every 2 weeks, bless you, webinar. Whether you use Zoom, whether you use MyConnect Pro or anything else, Google Meet, doesn't matter. But if you think about a marketing system, and this is just one of the many things that we can do, but I think it's very powerful, and I think it could be super effective, is what if you could get a mailing list and you're targeting 1, 2, 3, or 4 zip codes, and you got a mailing list of all of those people, name, address, and phone number, email. And what if you started sending out emails every week or every day? Because through Biggin, you can send out 300, 400, 500 a day. And so as you're sending these emails out, not only you introduce them to Home Source Directory, but what if you could invite them to a live 20-minute webinar to introduce them to the directory? Think about that. And so now you have, instead of going out and making sales calls to one business at a time, we're basically driving traffic to this webinar where we would introduce them to the Wyoming directory, the Kentwood directory, the Maple Valley directory, the Spartan Valley directory, whatever it's called. So now we could hyper focus our marketing to all of those businesses, invite them to a live webinar where we then could also not only give them an opportunity to ask questions, but we all know that when people ask questions and they get the right answers, everybody starts nodding their heads. You get 25, 30 people on a meeting like that, next thing you know, you've got to now drive those people someplace. So if you had your landing page up and running, the next thing you do is put a special code on there. So if you go to our corporate site, which is homesourcedirectory.net right now, you'll see that we've already changed the prices. We've bumped them 30%. So
Okay,
that we
great.
can now have room to do these kinds of marketing things and give a 30% discount. So in other words, you drive traffic to the webinar, then the next step is, hey, if you guys got all your questions answered, we'll wrap this up. Make sure tonight you get on our site, go to XYZ page, put in the code HSD 101, and you're going to be able to lock your business in for a 30% discount. And as long as you agree to do recurring billing, and you're going to go into the next issues and you're going to lock your space in, we'll give you that 30% off permanently, but you've got to lock your business in. Make sure you do that tonight. I think that's tremendously valuable. I think that could be really powerful. People like deals, they like codes, and if they go to a meeting, they get some kind of a special deal, a special offer by going to that meeting. I think you're going to move them to the next level of doing that. So
I love it.
in any event, if you go to the site, if you go to our corporate site and you go to enroll to the price page, you'll see that they can fill the information. You'll see we already put a form in there that says special offer code. So that means that they can now put that code out there that I give them. And now I've got people going there, filling out that page, sending it to me. I'm going, great. They're locking in. They want the code. All I got to do now is just give them a quick phone call, find out what they want to do, and lock them in. So anyways, it's like anything. It's a system. That's what we're working on.
Dan, I would put the most popular listing as the box ad, not the highlighted.
Yeah. You know.
I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I love it.
We can upsell or downsell either way, but
Sure.
but the point is that it takes a little bit of doing, it takes a little bit of organizing as far as getting that information, getting set up to start sending out emails. We have all kinds of graphics that we can send you guys that are generic that you can just plug into an email, send it out, hit 300 people, invite them to your area. But anyways, that's the idea I wanted to kick out with you guys. And did you hear what I said? Did you hear? You just got on? Okay.
No, we missed it.
Okay. Well, you'll just have to watch the recording then. No, I'll tell you. I got to give you a hard time, So what I had mentioned to these guys is that thanks to Greg, we had a meeting this morning, and he was mentioning to me about a webinar that's coming up, and all of a sudden bells and whistles are going off, and we came up with this idea that what we could do is as we go forward, it's just one of our many, many marketing channels. But if you get a data list, name, address, phone number, email of businesses in a target area that you want to target. So again, I'm saying if we get 3, 4, 5 zip codes, get all those businesses information, right? It's going to cost $25, $40, whatever. Now you can start emailing these people, right? But why would you want to just email them and say, hey, join my directory? Why not invite them to a special event where they can learn about the rollout of this directory, and they're going to be invited to your webinar. So you're going to have a little bit of finesse to be able to do a webinar. You don't have to be fancy, but wouldn't it be nice to be able to have 20 or 30 businesses that you could sell at a time, rather than just knocking on doors and selling one at a time? By doing this webinar, we could do this. Everybody could do this. We could do this every week. I'm going to start next Monday, and I'm going to do this. And I can get a blast out there and start inviting businesses to come to my webinar on Monday night, 7 o'clock, learn about this new directory. And I can do that for every community that I'm starting to open up. And it'll take some doing, because if I've got, say, 3,000 or 4,000, 2,500 businesses that I'm going to target, I'm going to send out about 300 emails a day, start inviting them to come to this webinar. But then at the end of the day, I think it's a great thing. The other thing, I'll close it out and then we get everybody involved, is we now have bumped our prices by 30%. So now we can do a special code. So if you get people coming to your webinar, then the next thing you can do is say, hey, because you guys showed up here and you're on this webinar, you'll all get a special deal just for showing up. And that's going to be 30% off. And if you guys tonight It's an act now deal. If you go into our site, fill out the form, we got a little code field you put in there, put in HSD 101. That's going to be your special code. And then when they go to do this to the site, put that special code in there, you know that they were on your webinar. Now they get that special 30% off deal. They can lock in their business for that deal. So anyways, that's what we were talking about before you guys came on. Make sense?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually a great idea. We were talking about something similar just last night, how to reach a larger group of people at a single time.
I love it. And, if you got a chamber list, if you've got, there's a lot of different kinds of business lists out there too that are all hyper local. But I think it's fantastic. I think, why not market to 25 people at a time? Hey, every Monday night, you got another 25, 30 people in there. How long is it going to take to fill up that directory? Now this could just be one channel. You could be doing telemarketing. We can be out knocking on doors at the same time. But I just think it's a great way to drive traffic and have that act now deal, get 30% off, and get people to take advantage of that. And hey, look at, it's just one more thing. But anyways, any other comments?
I'll just quickly mention that if you're looking for leads, I found List Shack is pretty affordable. It's $50 and you can get 50,000 leads a month from them, and you can put in the demographic that you want, the zip code you want, businesses that you want. They're not always phenomenal, but a lot of the lead lists today, a lot of changes in the world, businesses come and go. I found another company called Target On, and I think Dan, you might have told me about that one at one point, and they're pretty good. They give you a nice spreadsheet that's easily uploaded into a CRM, and you can just set it off to let it go and run. Like Dan said, put it into whatever CRM. I'm going to be using Biggin too, because for $15 a month to send 300 emails a day, why not?
So I want to make a comment about this because obviously I've been in the lead list world for a long time. I'll just warn you before you start buying all these databases and buying all these leads. A lot of these leads are people that have been paying 40 billion times. So a couple of things will come into play if you start buying these lead companies. There's a reason why they're cheap. They're Arctic cold. Number two, they've been resold 1 million times. Number three, a lot of those people are prepared to flag you as spam. So your domain could be eliminated. So if your domain is not something you're not worried about, buy lead lists from these companies. I've told people for 5 years, don't buy leads, buy systems, but you're obviously welcome to do whatever you want. But I'm going to tell you, I get more and more people. Today and yesterday, I got 4 companies of size who said, Rod, I want your intent leads because I've been buying leads from Apollo, Zoom Info, companies that have been around for a while. And their leads, we have to send like 10 times the leads to get any type of response. It's all based on response. Mm-hmm. So if they're saying, I got 3 million leads, I got 80 million leads, I got 1 billion leads, that's because they've sold it 4,000 times. And think about the following. Every business is in the database.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So every business, if they hit a certain demographic, certain perspective, have a certain revenue, they're getting bombarded 5 billion times. So if you're buying a lead from a lead list, if it's $15, $20, how much does it cost you if your domain gets shut down?
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, guys.
What suggestion do you have, Ron, to make that happen?
Well, I have a lead. This is where I was going to do my part and say, guys, the reason why I have my own lead system, one that we actually been selling behind the scenes to companies that you probably never heard of, or some maybe you have heard of. And they may have bought leads from us 8 years ago, and now they've sold the same list 40 billion times. That's why I do not sell a system where you can do your own sorting and screening, because all of those companies can never have updated leads. Mm-hmm. None of them can, because I can't give you access anytime you want and keep the database updated at the same time. It is data impossible. So either you have a company that curates them for you like we do, or you have one of these companies, and then you need to keep in mind, if you're going to do email outreach, email takes 45 days to warm up a server if you don't want to be flagged. Google has been changing the rules nonstop because so many people have ruined it. Mm-hmm. So you're going to buy, this is just a suggestion if you want to go down this route yourself, probably 10 domains. You're going to have to buy a bunch of emails, so that you can variate the variation so that you don't get flagged as a spammer. And so us who've been there and done that, we're having to create systems to make sure that we don't deal with all this stuff. And it's also why, and Ed and Monica can know about this. That's why we have a LinkedIn strategy, because the response on LinkedIn is 1,000 times better if you have a system under compliance. And I have a compliance system that we do on LinkedIn. So, I mean, I can just dive in and say, so I do intent-based leads. I want to hear about your ads, Greg, because what I'm going to do is me and Dr. Ivory, what we're going to do is we kind of talked about this as well. Intent-based leads, so we know everyone who was actually typed in the last 10 days looking for the service we offer. And we've built lead lists for every single person on the team. We've built that just to kind of get a feel of what the market looks like. And we're playing around with keywords like, direct mail, for example, looking for advertising, all these tipping variations. So we build these lead lists so we know what demand. And then every week, I will be able to update those leads and be able to work with it. Okay. I'll give you a sweetheart of a deal so that it's affordable to play with. But these data leads are leads that at least you'll know have at least people who've looked for it over the last 10 days. It won't be Fantasy Island leads that are just, here's 800 million leads, and none of them have actually been looking for what you're talking about. And now you're just blasting people and guessing and hoping. Does that make sense?
What do you think of the overall idea of us doing a webinar to our markets and driving traffic there and getting 25 business owners to show up that we can sell at the same time?
I think the premise is great, but a lot of people are already doing it. So what I would say, but that's okay. Here's what I'm doing, and I did it even today. Okay. So I know a person who is a phenomenal networker. She's lived a little bit. She's an insurance agent, and she also has her own home-based business. Not home-based, but she does in-home care. She will network with everybody. I mean, she's one of those people, right? She's about an hour and a half away from me with no traffic. I said, Connie, we've been talking for a while. You need more business. You have a B2C offering and a B2B offering. I want to propose you being one of the people on my team. She agreed. She's already referred me 12 people, and I haven't got her over the contract yet. And so I think people like that are like the people you want to bring on your team if you're going to go this route, right? And we're just doing complete rev share. And then you combine that with what you're saying. Okay, hey, you can't make it to one of our meetings, so you can't make it to our whatever. Then let's drive them to the webinar, like you just said. And now we have this universal webinar that everybody can go to. They come in identified as, hey, this is, whatever state is already self-identified. So we already have that baked into our model. So they come in for whatever state. Hey, tell us where you're from. You know how people do the webinars? Tell you where you're from. Tell you where you're from. Every time they do that, somebody on the call from our team is almost recording that, right? So we know, hey, 10 came from Arizona, 10 came from California, 10 came from New Hampshire. Now we already know we got follow-ups to do, and that marketing directory can run with it. So it's a hybrid as far as I'm concerned. And then, of course, or maybe I think we talked about it. I'm going to use my auto dialer system because I have a voice AI system that is converted in almost every industry. And so we're going to warm up with the email. We're going to follow up with the phone call. The phone call calls twice on your behalf, and then it also then sends an email. And I just brought a content person who's an expert in writing content. He's going to partner with Dr. Ivory so that our email templates that go out are really higher converters. He also is North Carolina. It's my North Carolina guy, Dan, I was talking about, who said, Ron, I think I have 4 businesses. And he already pre-sold a potential ad for Alice. Now, I need to confirm it because it's the first time he's done it. He didn't know all the procedures yet, but he just kind of went all in. And I said, okay, people like that will help us. And then I said, you know what? You want to hear more about us? Check out this ad that we have going with Greg. You know what? Check out this TV commercial we have. So we'll leverage all of it, but I'm just saying that each person, there's ways to accelerate the overall process. Mm-hmm. And now we're all working like we talked about, but it's all complementing each other. So that's why I was asking Greg about his thing, because I'm going to say, here's an example of how one of our marketing partners, one of our directors, how he's doing it. Here's a workflow that Alice is doing. Here's what the founder, Dan, is doing. Here's what Ed and Monica are doing. I'm using every one of those as examples of ways in which, if I'm bringing you on, how you can run your territory.
Great.
Go
Alice,
ahead,
you were
Monica.
Alice. You had
Alice is
something to-
first, huh? Yeah, I know Alice
Oh
is first.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
No, I was intrigued by the Dan, your suggestion, and I guess what I was sort of thinking is, I know this is not now, but like having an overall sales organization, right? That maybe we had these meetings, like if we could have them monthly to get like one together, like this is the home source directory, you know what I mean? Like this is what we do, like nationally, you know what I mean? Like, because I think it's helpful to say this is a national organization,
Mhm.
So I mean, I know we're working up to that, not now,
Yeah.
but I know we're working up to
Well,
that.
I have two thoughts. One is each person who is a state marketing director. I'm a state. You guys are state. I got Michigan. So what I would be doing for Michigan is we would be targeting different areas. Like I've got, and I'll bring this up to you guys. It's exciting news, but I've got my regional marketing director coming on. He actually signed on. I actually have a signed contract with him now, which I'm happy about. And we're meeting for our second time tomorrow to literally really blast into marketing. He's already brought on two people that are going to be community marketing directors in their communities. So we've got that ball rolling, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, but my point is that doing this, we have two directions to go. One is we can do each one of us can do our own weekly webinar to drive traffic to make the sales. And again, that's that one tool. The other option is to do one that's national, where we can all be driving traffic to that, and I'm more than happy to host that. I don't know which way to go, but I'm certainly open to
I'm
suggestions.
not sure. It's just a thought I had, but
Can
yeah,
I make
do
a
like
suggestion
the
on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, a suggestion on that is you do one, each, we'll just call it like the West Coast. Like me, Dr. Ivory, maybe Ed and Monica. We have a West Coast one that we do for people in that West Coast time zone. We have one Midwest, we have one East Coast, and then we have a national, right? So literally we're creating a way where that us folks who, our West Coast time, we end our day at 6 o'clock our time. Well, that's 9 for you. You're not making that call. So we have that 6 a.m. call, and now our West Coast folks come to the West Coast one. Here's one West Coast, Midwest, East Coast. For us, it allows us now to have 3 different bites of the apple. Then we have that national call that we do as well.
Yeah.
So that would be how we've done in the past, where we were able to create that momentum, and people always appreciate the convenience of being able to have something in their time zone.
Okay.
They also are thinking selfishly, if I'm talking to other East Coast businesses, there might be some opportunities for me that I might connect on that call. So it almost double dips, right? Hey, here's what we're doing. And then you get on a call with momentum from like, hey, in New York, we just signed up 10 people in this directory. Hey, in Florida, we just did that. That creates that momentum where you start getting people saying, hey, and do you know somebody? And here's what we'll do for you. And then that's when we can talk about the specials, and we'll go crazy.
Yeah, and to Ron's point, if I just did this in the Providence market, I might get 10 people. But if we do this on the East Coast, we could have 1,000 people, and that builds excitement. That's like, oh my God, look at all these people doing this thing. Oh, I want to get on that bandwagon too.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
Great call, Ron. That's a good advice. Yeah.
So
and we're protected, Dan. I mean, like you said, I mean, we've said, because we all have our own states, right? It's going to be like what you got in your call. Hey, Ron, this directory thing, how do I get involved with that?
Glad you asked.
Glad you asked. And I said, what else you got? Well, we got this program.
And that
for
call
you.
can also be the opportunities, because I am looking for people here, right? So yeah, and that is my concern, is like I have a call and 2 people are there, which is okay. I've done that before,
So
but
what you're saying, you could do it. Oh, by the way, we are looking for community marketing director.
Here's other opportunities, So
well, what I could do,
and I don't know, maybe it eventually turns into some sort of networking thing, since this is all about connecting businesses to businesses. I don't know. Maybe that's a crazy idea. This turns into some sort of online. I don't know. That people can connect at stay for the presentation and then connect with somebody for the next 20 minutes. You meet 5 people. I don't know.
What do we have? 4 time zones? we have the Eastern, Central,
Mountains.
Mountain, and then we've got the West Coast. So we got 4 major time zones. So we need 4 people to step up and do one, and I can do the Eastern. So what I would do is on the main website, I would put the actual web schedule on there. So if you're in the Eastern time zone, go here. Here's the link, Monday night, 7 o'clock. And then if you're Central, here's the link.
Yeah. And I'll join, Dan, because right, those could be my customers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I'll join you, of course.
And between Dan and Ron and all of us, we could come up with a script that we could be putting on the social medias, the Skylar, or the LinkedIn's, and set,
Having those assets sort of, somehow
well, we
ready,
want to
or
have
guidelines or something.
I think we want to have a
this is a lot of-
concise. We want to have a concise message, so we're not all putting different things out
Right,
there.
right.
I think if we can hone this down, so this is the script. This is what we want to put on LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, Z.
Here's the messaging. Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't have to be long. It could be 20 minutes. Really, honestly, in fact, we could build that into an ad. It'll be the best 20 minutes you ever spent.
Right. It shouldn't be long. It should be short. And again, then that's what I'm saying is maybe people want to stay. Anyways, I think there's a lot of ways we can take it. There's other opportunities in there too for sales.
Right.
So
Well, I appreciate
Yeah,
you
there-
guys'
and
input on this.
I love
Yeah,
it.
there's a leak, and with the if people ever get into the appetite of the Facebook ad world, there's a few tools we have that are automatic lead capture systems that when somebody goes to an ad, you can capture them, put them into a workflow, and be bam. My tech partner, they told me about this, and I'm like, because I've never been a big Facebook ad guy. I don't want to really burn money on ads a lot unless I don't have to. But they're like, hey, Ron, here's some new tools now that Facebook's made available, and they've made it reasonable and affordable. I said, okay, well, please try it. Let me know, because I don't want to. I always kind of keep this circle sacred. I say, look, before I start proposing this to this ecosystem, I want you to give me some data before we started. Just, hey, try this out. We all don't have try this out all the time. We want to get some stuff going. So anyway.
I can give you some input on that because I've been doing it with the postcards for several months now.
Yeah.
I do the meta carousel ads.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get the analytics on it, it shows you impressions and reach. And
right.
For those of you who don't know, impressions is how many times it will be seen on
right.
reach. It can be the same person, but it's on their tablet, their phone, or whatever. The reach is how many times it's hit an individual specific. Mm-hmm. And the first one that I did in Narragansett, I had 127,000 impressions and 66,000 reaches. So it got.
So Greg, here's the kicker. And this just, this was one of the announcements. We added pixel data. So if you're familiar with that, now people come to your website, they don't fill out anything, but we can still capture, because of public facing data, we can capture who came and have a breakdown of everything: name, email, phone number, household income. I have all that I can now collect from people just visiting the website.
Yeah.
And now that I have that data, it allows me to put it into a marketing campaign or an outreach campaign and really go crazy with it. The cap on it, though, is 10,000 visitors a month. Now, of course, if you have 10,000 visitors a month, you're doing pretty good. Yes, but literally, I wanted to bring this up, too, because what I'm thinking of with your ads that you're running, right, that radio and TV, and that's driving people to the website, and then we have a capture system for that website. Now we can turn a lot of those people into net new people. There was and my last little quick comment I want to say is, you all know, obviously we've been doing the dialing, and the dialing just wasn't delivering. It was, I had 100 people, 100 dials a day, nothing was happening. So I've gone to my auto dialer system, which is AI. I know some people don't like it. I know they're not comfortable with it, and I get it. But to back up that first touch, then second call, then email is a human being. So it allows that people say, hey, I want to talk to somebody live, or I want to have a conversation. Please hold. And then bam, it goes to that live person. That combination has already bared some fruit. But, I wanted to get more data before I started saying, hey, this is the nirvana of what we're talking about. But I just want to let you all know we're testing it. And if it delivers the way we want it to deliver, then next week this time I'll have some interesting updates for you.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And if I can just interject, I'm also working with a company, a texting company that
Yeah.
does SMX texting. Um, it's a group out in California, and I had worked with them, but they were referred to me by a business partner who had great success with them. But then it got a little sideways. They didn't have their algorithm straightened out. So I didn't hear from them for a couple of months. And I said, well, moving on. Well, they reached out to me last week and they said, look, we want to give you a bunch of free service to show you what we can do. And I said, well, that's great because if you show me what you can do, I can share it with the whole team. So it's been a process. They have a system, but they've narrowed it down to where on Monday I got 8 leads out of them. They don't really convert. They're people who say yes, and then you call them and they go, I don't even own a business. So it's a process.
Yeah, well, that's the data problem, Greg, I was talking about, right?
Exactly.
People are buying from bad data. So I work with a lot of those companies behind the scenes, just so you know. Okay.
Yeah.
We have an excruciating process to make sure not only the data is qualified, but also the data has been verified. And I have a global system that verifies emails and phone numbers, not national, but global.
Well,
then we run it through a DNC, because if you reach out and text the wrong person and get flagged enough times based on people saying this is spam, then again you run the risk of your business being obviously in a compromised situation.
Absolutely.
So,
they do scrub. They scrub and they guarantee that if there is a problem, it's on them. It doesn't bounce back to me. So I have that in writing. But
make sure they have state and federal clearance.
Yeah.
Because people say a lot of stuff.
They have narrowed it down as of this morning, where they were sending out 1,500 to get one response. They're tweaking the messaging now. 300 gets one response.
That's data. That's data, Greg.
I
data.
agree. But they're not charging me anything, Ron. So I'm getting to, and I told them, look, if you make this work, I'll roll it out. But they haven't made it work yet. So, I'm letting them to beta test with me at no charge. Who cares? If I get 2 deals of it, I'm okay. I'm not burning any bridges, because I've gotten written in contract form that I'm not obligated. If they do something wrong, it's on them. So I'm willing to explore opportunity for the team, and if it works, it works.
Yeah.
I like what you're saying. Having the right lead list, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to next week when you tell us what this bit master plan of yours is and see how it's working out. Very excited to hear about it.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just reason why I'm keep coming back with responses on this is because I look at us all as like a family. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just stress it, because if they have to do that many touches, they're not cleaning their list. If they have to do 1,200 touches to get 1 or 2 responses, then everything they told you about cleaning the data is a lie. Mm-hmm. It does not take that to convert. Of all the ways to reach out in marketing, text messaging is number 1. Mm-hmm. That's why there's so many dang rules in it, because everybody, before there were the rules, we were able to convert at insane percentages. It's all about conversion rate in this world.
Yep.
And text messaging is number 1. If they have to do 1,200 to get 1 or 2%, I'm telling you right now, they're lying about the data. And if they get sued, and if they get, and I'll say, unfortunately, a sad story. If they get sued and they just call themselves insolvent, then they still go after who are the clients that use their system.
Yeah. Well, let's do it this way. We're a team. Let's look at some of these options, and let's just make sure that everything is scraped clean. And Ron, if you've got a way that you can help us, we all are going to need leads one way or the other to start marketing, because we can't just have one person sit back doing it. We all have to do our share, and because let's face it, if we all do a little bit collectively, it turns into a big deal. So
I want to say this to you, Dan, really fast, because I'll forget. And I have the ability, and this was not until you guys just heard this, because it just became reality. I always had a cap of about 1 million leads I can do a month for every client I have in the history of the world. That cap has ended as of last week. So now I can do unlimited leads. So if we had to do a campaign for the home source directory and it needed 1 million leads for us to do it across the entire country, I can now do that. I've always had this sort of cap on me, but now we got the final global agreement that we can do unlimited leads. So if it takes, for example, this is for a home source directory, I will never say this outside of this call. If we're like saying, if we did identify that Dan needs 20,000 leads for us to sell out a directory, then we'll provide him 20,000 leads to sell out a directory.
And what are those leads? Are they emails? Are they?
No, we're talking name, email, phone number, LinkedIn profile. If we're talking about B2C, for example, because we're helping maybe like insurance, we can get down to household income, age of the people, college graduate, non-college graduate, smoking, non-smoking. I have all the data and I can do it unlimited. And that's why I'm really excited about, Greg, what you're doing, because as you get impressions and all that type of stuff, and we get some marketing around that, I will then run the leads and say, okay, how many people are actually looking for ads? I can be able to do that search, right? So now we take your impression data with my ability to see demand for what we offer over the last 10 days. We combine forces, and now we have really incredible data for us to then do our outreach campaigns that we're all talking about. That's how we're joining forces in a good way.
So how would any one of us do that with you? How would we? What are you suggesting? If I need, say, leads for 4 zip codes, what do I need to do?
We just have the conversation and talk about how many leads you need. What I'm going to do is figure out how many leads you need. It's not about how many leads you need. It's how many leads are out there looking, right? So I have the zip codes. We've actually behind the scenes pulled lead lists for every single person in the group. I went down the entire list, right? And then all I do is do like a daily update or a weekly update and say, hey, this week, guys, there's 800 leads in Arizona, in Phoenix. When you now know that, you can then decide how do you want to attack that, right? We'll come up with a structure, a cost structure, so I can cover my freaking cost, because the big picture is not the leads. The bigger picture is, to me, us making revenue with the leads, right? So, that's the big deal. I cover my freaking costs with this thing. And, I'm not going to try to marginalize this on you guys, make no money off you guys on this. I just want to cover my costs to run that system, and we're off and running. Okay. And I want to, if you want to be ultimate transparent, my system cost me around $3,000 a month. Okay. So I got to figure out a way to cover my $3,000 a month for my system. And then we'll have all the leads we can stand. I mean, all the leads we can stand. But I got to cover that cost. So if I cover that cost, I'm good to go. That's it. And if 20 people say, hey, Ron, we'll split it all up, every one of you have all the leads you can stand for the rest of your dang life. Because I can pump all, and it will plug into every system we want. Plug it into the systems for what Greg wants to do. Plug it into the stuff that Alice wants to do. That is my extension to you, because I know we all know that we start selling out directories. These costs will not make a dang difference to none of us, because we'll all be.
And that's helpful for defining territories too, I think, right?
Yes, so, exactly.
Because that's what I'm talking to this guy. Right. I know there's a lot of ways to attack this, but I'm open, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
And Alice, what I'm saying to you all, because again, we are all here, right? There's a lot of people who've been involved, but we're all here, right? So I look at this as a massive advantage. Every one of the companies of size who need to know what the market demand is, we can make that as an incredible talking point. If I walk into a franchise owner who's on 10, what do they call it? Hot mic sandwiches or whatever it is. And I say, you know what? Do you want to know what the demand is for the people looking for your type of sandwiches? I can give you that as a part of the Home Source Directory program. We have a data team, a data science team. We do that. So you'll know exactly where you want to buy directories. And so I think of it as we can give demand of the data, then say, okay, your directories that you want to invest in are the following directories. They then go ahead and invest in those directories for each one of us. Now, and I said, do you have other franchise owners you know? They said, yeah, I know somebody who owns 10 Jimmy Johns. I said, okay, well, let's talk to those Jimmy Johns about what they can do as well. Having this market data is a cheat code for us. And what I've been selling, just so you all know, I said, we have people who represent each state. And Ed and them know this because I've been told them about it. I'm selling them as a state conduit or as a state resource to help you all move forward with what you want to do. And they control the state. I said, well, before I do anything, I got to check to Alice because Alice runs Florida. That's who's Alice? Oh, Alice runs boom, boom, boom. You see where I'm going with this? We have data. And I was very transparent. This is my cost to run my system. And if, right now I'm trying to find ways to recoup it or recover it, but I have it. And we can use that data and resell that to people all day long and upcharge it. And I have no problem revenue sharing. And then, because I want to use Home Source Directory as the cheat code for B2C and B2B inbound leads. And that's how I've been selling it. And that's how I got 3 people to say, yeah, Ron, I want to be a partner because I need a B2B, B2C inbound system. And I've been selling Home Source Directory that way.
I got a bunch of companies I need your lead list for, Ron.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. And we'll do this and we'll bundle that Home Source Directory. Yeah. And
it's also how do we use those lists, right? So
yes.
That's the other thing. I know Greg's been doing a lot of that work too. Yeah. So
and Dan, I want to say this to you because Dan, you have this whole thing with the television and the streaming, right? I've been soft talking about that too and saying, look, all of us out in California, we're paying $300 a month for Comcast Xfinity. That's insane. Mm-hmm. And I told my wife, I said, honey, we have got to get rid of this. This loyalty to Comcast is crazy. I've talked to Dan about this. He's told me about this. I said, I said, you pay $39. I'll pay $89. For $300 for us to watch some television? No. So I want to do an entire campaign about that.
It's easy to talk about because everybody watches TV, or 99.9% of people watch TV, and they're all paying quite a bit for it. So it's
especially. And I want to bring them in.
Huh?
I want to bring them in. I meant to ask you this, Greg. Is the program that I know you said? I think is there any desire for us to? Is there any appetite for us to run those radio ads in every single state that you have with your guys? Is there a program where we work with you to make that happen? We can run ads in every single state. Is there anything? I'm not, like the radio ad you did. Is there any relationship with like a national program?
No, that particular ad is a friend of mine. He's an Elvis tribute artist.
Yeah.
He rated his own station, and I bought it with him. He's been a friend of mine for 40 years. We've done this. I actually sold ads with him on Little Roadie RI. Which is almost an online site.
Yeah.
All of this. Yeah. So he and I go back and forth. He's putting me on the radio. I'm putting him on the directories. So he created that ad for me.
It's awesome.
It is. It's awesome. And I've played it a bunch with people, and I said, hey, this is one of the guys out here, what he's doing. They're like, oh, how do I get one of those? That's why I asked the question, because it's a door opener. It's
yeah,
like, wow.
He can produce them for anybody who wants one. I can always have him make one up for you. And then the TV ad, that's a pretty cool thing. There's a lot of that going around. Now Paramount offers it, but the one I was demoing was AdWare or AdWise, and you can go in there, you can create the ad, you can edit it, you can do all kinds of things with it. You can put any kind of verbiage, you can change the images, whatever you want, and it's like you can pick the area, the zip codes. I'm going to hit 5-mile radius around Providence, Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
It can be $5 a day. I mean, obviously, the more you spend, the more hits you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to run it. I'm going to be reinvesting a sizable portion of the income to brand this thing. So when people are calling, they go, "Oh, is that the thing I'm seeing on TV?" Or when we invite them to Dan's webinar,
his webinar, Dan's room.
And will you have conversion rates on those, Greg, that maybe you can share with us at some point? Because
I haven't started them yet.
Later, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely, I'd be more than happy to.
Thank you.
But for me, it's about the branding, and I'm going to do digital billboards. I don't know if you've seen that. There's a company called Vibe.
Yeah.
And you can get on a digital billboard for next to nothing now. They can put you on the shopping carts, and it's incredible that dentist offices and everything. Yep. There's a whole new world that's opened up for this kind of marketing.
Oh, I'd love to hear about it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you all. So I just secured my deal with a nationwide company that does, they work in the healthcare field. Any private practice, they help them recover lost revenue when it comes to accounts payable. I think I mentioned this to Edward and Monica. And what that means is they're providing me a salesperson who's dedicated to cold call. Guess how I'm going to leverage that free resource. They're going to be helping me with some marketing stuff as well, so I can help them with. And I'm pumping them for the same leads that I'm telling you, the same lead system, because they need to talk to those people. Every dentist, every doctor, I'm going to give them a nationwide list where they're going to go ahead and reach out to all of it. And I've already talked to them. I said, look, for all of these people you all are serving, you need to talk to me about a home source directory. And they already have they've been around for 20 some odd years. They're in every single state. And I told them, I said, look, I have a national program that we would like to talk to you about and see if this is a way to help you all actually generate net new opportunities and you guys become an advertiser in the home source directory. And so we're having that conversation with their leadership about what that looks like, because if that's the case, then every single person who's on the team right now, I'll be having a sale for you at $279 minimum. But I know you said the pricing is adjusting, but I've been selling everybody at $279 right now, because if you're going to buy $279, buy $279.
I'm sure that everybody would be happy if we gave them 30% off and we got our regular rate of $279.
Yeah, just tell them that you had included the discount just because you liked them so much. You didn't.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, I had automatically included. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you the full price.
Make sure that they understand that is our 30% off recurring billing rate.
Yeah.
I don't do this for everybody because I like you.
There you go. There you go. There we go. There we go.
I get to do that Cunningham point thing, you know.
Yeah, right. If you act now.
Eddie and Monica, they had their hand up for about the last half hour.
I'm sorry, Eddie and Monica.
Do you guys even remember what you wanted to ask?
I know. No, I was going to say I agreed with Ron, and like how you guys, that's what me and Eddie were actually talking about before they mentioned about dividing it up, like you said, for the call. But I was also going to say too, I know maybe if we can, I know it might be hard because the time zone difference, but I know like if we can jump on the East Coast call, just maybe at first, so it seems like there's more people on the call, you know, just so we can see how many people.
Yeah, we could start with one and
like you said, and then we can all, like, I know we'll try to jump on, you know, that one, and then if you guys try to jump on the West Coast, and if we have that national one, I do think that national one will be huge because, like you said, they can't make it to an East Coast, like if they're on the East Coast or West Coast, at least. And it does make it sound like, I think Alice was saying too, like, hey, this is a national thing, you know what I mean? It makes it sound better. But that's what I was just going to add was about if we can, I want to, you know, if we can jump on each other's, you know, whatever they are.
I love it.
And ask buying questions, you know, this sounds great. Tell me how I can, you know, be featured on in the Nevada area or whatever, you know.
So what we need to do then, because we can, you know, keep it simple. I can create a link for mine, which is Dan's room, so it's already done. And I can put that on the website as the national webinar, Monday night, 7:00 Eastern, which gives the West Coast more time to jump on. So I can do it at 7:00. And then what we need is, you know, either an Eastern or an Eastern and then a Central. So we need one for each time. So we need a link, you know, a meeting link.
Yeah.
Maybe make it home source /home source. The link.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, because it's then when people are there, it's like, what is this?
But whoever's doing that, whoever does that meeting, you know, I can do the national one as home source. Make the meeting room home source. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, I'll do a West Coast. I'll do the West Coast webinar. I'll do the West Coast webinar.
I'll do the East. You know, with Greg. If Greg will come on with me, I'll do the East.
Absolutely.
I'll do the West. Me and I look at it as three people: me and Dr. Ivory and the Nips. Yeah, you know,
I'll come on over there too. I mean, I'll support you guys.
Oh yeah, all of them. We're going to support. We're all support each other, right? I mean.
So then, what I'll do then is on our site, I'll create join us live, and I'll create a section on the site for that, and I'll just put the links right there. You know, and there it is in black and white. It doesn't have to be Celsy, but I'll just put the join us live, and then if you guys, and that's one thing I wanted to just touch on a little bit before we wrap up. Eddie and Monica, I haven't forgotten about you guys, and so, but I've been going through a lot of different things with trying to get this out, working through some marketing materials and everything else. So I'm going to have some stuff coming to you probably yet today. So watch your email coming to you soon. But the thing that we'll have to start thinking about is I'll get these out to people, but you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea for you guys to start thinking about, you know, if you don't have a landing page or marketing site, you know, it costs pennies to do it. It's well worth it. If you need help, let me know, because we can get it up and running. We got Brian's up and running. If you want to go check out Brian's, it's McCray Marketing Group .com. Very cool. So it's McCray Marketing Group.com. And
Hey Dan,
you
mine's pretty cool too. Not for nothing. as we
yes,
say.
I was gonna. You beat me to it, Greg.
Check it out. Yeah, absolutely.
And Greg's site is really darn cool too. You know, and
I knew you'd get there.
The advert card.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great.
What do you think
I love Greg.
is got me going yesterday? I
Yeah.
was like, look at this website.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
so
You have to be the first one. You'll be the first one on the stage, Greg, with the with the annual conference. You know what? Let's talk to Greg. Man,
You and I will
he
share
motivates
that
everybody.
stage. The three of us will be up
You
there.
guys can take a.
having
You
some
can
fun.
look at mine is in-home directory if you want to see mine.
yeah, in-home
.com.
directory turned out awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
Greg, what was yours called?
The Advercard. It's a combination of advertising postcard. So it's ADVERCARD.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
So
I'm
Greg,
making
I want to learn about this. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Alex. Go ahead. Finish.
No, go ahead, Ron. That's fine.
All I want to say is I want to be part of Avocard too. You guys are doing all this. I want to have the option of. There's a lot of restaurants I live. I'm in a foodie state. We could be talking to all those folks about this opportunity.
I'm
right?
telling you,
Yeah.
I don't want to negate anything else that everybody's doing, but the menus are a blast.
That's why I'm starting with those.
I'm
And
telling
I just made an umbrella company called In-Home. I can't even remember now. InHomeBrands.com.
Yeah.
I picked that up. I got in-home coupons and in-home deals too. But so I'm going to have the umbrella company, and then it's the directory, the cards.
Not to leave you guys out, Eddie and Monica. So if you go to free restaurant menus is plural. So freerestaurantmenus.net.
So cool.
Don't go to .com, go to .net. So freerestaurantmenus.net. That's our menu program. All my focus with you guys is on the directory, but the menu program,
Yeah,
everybody.
But Dan,
totally
I think that the thing is that in my and really when I talked to Greg, it crystallized in my mind is that all three of these go together.
Yeah.
And that's why I did this today. I'm like, okay, I'm making, and then the page is going to be all of that plus AccuView. I'm going to put on there, right? All 4 services because it's in home, So I think this is an ecosystem that we should and
Well,
Did you guys join when I was talking about the lead that I had a phone call this morning? Did you guys jump? Did you miss that?
We missed it.
Yeah.
Well, what Alice and I were talking about too is our directories went out yesterday in the mail. So we hit 5,000, and this morning already got our first phone call from somebody that got it in the mail, and they own a business called Auto Labs, and Auto Labs has 4 locations, and they're a big operation. We never could get to them. We went in, dropped my damn business card off 5 times, and the frickin' guy wouldn't even call me, and then he gets this darn directory in the mail, and he calls me, and he goes, "How come I'm not in here?" And I'm going, I tried to get a hold of you, you butthead. I didn't say that, but that's what I wanted to say.
Dan, is he near any of the other zip codes that you're going to be doing? I mean,
Yes.
So just throw them on there. Say, I couldn't get you on Maple Valley, but let's throw you on ABC and XYZ while we're at it.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Cross
he's
out,
got a
absolutely.
location in Wyoming. So I'm emailing him stuff. And then I said, well, where are you located? And he told me, and I says, well, then you've got to be getting because we send our postcard in the mail. Have you been getting that? He says, yeah. And I said, well, then how come you're not on that? You could have called me on that. I mean, I gave him a hard time. So we made friends, so now I have the owners. I mean, this is the owner of Auto Labs. And so now I have his email. I've got his phone number, and he's definitely in the next directories. But guys, that came from one day of these things being in the mailbox. It's just so darn exciting. So I wanted you guys to make sure you heard that.
No, this is, we like you said, it looks great. We all look forward to getting it. And I already have told people, I said, look, we're going to have our first directory just been sold to you. You're on the ground floor of what we're doing. But unlike other companies where it's like one person or two people doing everything, it's a collective of different people with different ideas coming together to make things happen.
Well, and I'll tell you something,
Yeah.
guys, and I'll be 100% transparent with you. I got this, when this came ready to deliver and we had to do it, and I was looking at this, I'm going, man, I made some mistakes. Not spelling or anything, but just some graphical things. So we're going to polish this up, because what we learned is light gray doesn't print real. I mean, gray prints real well, but we have some small ads in here that have real small logos, and it's got a lot of gray in it. So we're going to clean that up. But we learned from printing this that, okay, that printed really nice. I mean, everything printed 100%. I mean, it's really, really nice. But there's some things that we realized are a little bit hard to read. So guess what? Now we can fix that as we go forward. So that's kind of cool.
How many businesses are in that directory?
I think I'm at 214.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
our gross on it was a little bit lower. We were at 22. I think 22,700 is what our final invoice was on.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we can.
I mean, we're within
Yeah.
we're within the range that we want to be within, right?
Yeah.
Anything
So
over
that-
20 is a beautiful thing. Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll tell you what. Honestly, with those numbers, we probably could have been a little bit higher, because we have a lot of single line standard listings, and it was mostly just to push this thing and get it done, really. Because when you start getting on 2 months per directory, you're starting to go, we got to get this to print. So we started doing a lot of singles. We didn't even push the double box ads or anything else. So we have a lot. We really could have probably came out with 2,000-3,000 more, but plus or minus, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I thank you all. I appreciate it. I know you all may keep going because the momentum is exciting. But I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you all, and glad we got a chance to have this conversation. I appreciate it. If I put in the link, the company I was telling you about that has the nationwide presence, the one that I'm talking to about Home Source Directory for every single market they're in. So if you get a chance, take a look at it.
Yeah, I got it open.
And they're in pretty much every state.
They are in every state.
Okay.
They are everywhere. So, and so their number one target is going to be private practice, dental offices, you name it, anything that is accepting, that is in that medical healthcare world. So, like I said, my meeting with them next week is to discuss, okay, I have a phenomenal way for us to help you all convert at a local level in every single place you want to be. So what I've been proposing to people, I said, if you want to ask about, here's what I've been telling people, I'll close this. I said, if you want to launch a new directory, bring me 10 businesses that are ready to go. And those 10 businesses are ready to go, we'll launch a new directory for you. That's what I was telling some of my folks to do. So they come with 10 sales ready to go. Then I come to you all and say, hey, I got a new directory, but they have 10 ads, people ready to go. So it allows the funding of it to happen. And then now we have a brand new directory, but it's in a way almost self-funding if I can do it. That's my strategy here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that
Ron,
encourages them too.
Sidebar, if you work with primary care physicians and they're not attached to a hospital, I can make them an additional $1 million a year in revenue, no cost, no setup.
Yeah, it's just a conversation. Who wouldn't mind $1 million? Just see the look on my face when you said that. How I can make it look like that was just no big deal when basically
I do.
my body's like, what, $1 million?
I have a guy. It's a clinical program. Like, we'll have a meeting. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you all. I mean, I'm not trying to end your meeting. I just got to go and take a call, but thank you. Thanks, Dan.
I gotta go.
Thanks, Alice. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks,
Bye.
for family.
Thanks, Greg.
Anybody
Thanks,
else have
Dan.
any other
Thanks, Ron.
questions? Anything that they want to hammer out? Yeah, I got a few minutes.
When will that directory? Is it already mailed out to all of us, or do we?
No. We just got it yesterday. Went in the mail. Well,
Okay.
2 days ago. Went to the post office yesterday, and so now I've got some leftovers. So I'll send to anybody that wants them.
Yes, please.
Me.
Por favor.
Make sure what you guys might want to do. Just do me a huge favor, everybody. If you want these, just email me your physical address so I can get them out to you. If you just email me your physical address, I probably have it, but just to double check, Send me your address, and then I'll get these out to you right away. I'll send them out express to the post office.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And then,
Thank you,
while
everybody.
I'm doing that, while I'm at doing that, I probably will drop some other stuff in there because I pay one rate with the post office, and they basically give you just whatever I can put in there. It's the same rate, so I'll throw some other stuff in for you guys. I'll throw in some samples of the restaurant menus, so we have those, so you can have those on hand. So if you wanted, we can, I'm willing to talk about anything. As long as my wife's not around. No, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah. Hey,
No.
if
I don't want to get in trouble. So,
if I could, just about the restaurants, Edward and Monica and even Ron. I mean, the nice thing about it, it's a quick and easy sale. You're only selling 6 ads. I sell them for $2.99. I pay my sales team $100. I mean, there's plenty of room in there. You can charge whatever you want. I mean, that's just, I'm finding I was at $3.95, and my telemarketing guy Jay said, I could do more at $2.99. I'm like, I'm all about more. I'll make $1 off a million people off instead of $1 million off of one. So we put it at the $2.99. He's popping them out like there's no tomorrow. And the nice thing about that though is you're building a database.
You that's what it is. You're getting
Yeah.
leads from the restaurant. So you're getting the same people that would be going in the directory. So you get yourself, I'll just give you guys some quick numbers. If you do 25 restaurants, it's a 6-figure income. So it doesn't take much to build that up. And those 25 restaurants are giving you all the leads that you can use in your directory. Plus the restaurants are going to your directory. So if you guys want, what we can do maybe next week, let's get everybody a chance to lay their eggs from this meeting. And then what we'll do is next week, you guys will probably have the mail from me by then. And then we can, if you guys want to talk about the restaurant business, we can talk about it a little bit. And because it does fit what we're doing, but I just don't want to distract from the directory.
Right.
But it sounds like you guys would like to talk about it, so we can.
And if I could, just I'll end it on this. When I just I take the menus to the restaurant themselves instead of having Dan ship them there. I take them myself to drop them off, and I start the dialogue with, guys, these are free menus. You want to be like Johnny Appleseed and distribute these things everywhere you go. I just did a seafood restaurant down at the Westerly, Rhode Island area, and I said, his name's Caswell. I said, put these things in all the hotels around here. Put them in the chambers of commerce. Put them in the, and it's twofold. They're thanking me for saying, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea," and I'm thinking, "Yeah, get rid of these things so you'll reorder again real soon." So everybody wins when they distribute the menus. It's a great plan. They love them. They're free. Why not distribute them? Hey, have somebody. I mean, this is a beach restaurant. Get a pretty girl on a corner, handing them out to everybody that walks by. Hey, go to seafood. They've got lobster salad sandwiches. Pass these things out everywhere you can. They're free, and guess what? When you're ready, we'll reorder the next batch for you. So
sign me up, Greg. Let me get those so I can take these to the beaches and walk around in my muscular fat body.
Well, we're doing one right now. We're doing one for Ron, you created a visual. Thank you. I gotta go bleach my eyes.
We can't unsee it.
We're just finishing one for International Pocket Cafe. It's at the URI Emporium, the University of Rhode Island, and we're putting them. It's right next to the campus, and I've got one of the students, and she's going to go around, put these in all the dorms, and put them in the faculty buildings. And
I have the foot team. I have the foot team for this. So maybe we'll just have, I don't know, whoever's involved. We have that call. We need to discuss this ASAP. Right? Yeah, let's have that.
We can do a separate call to talk about the menus. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
we've got.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack anybody, but in context of the directory, it's a great way to build a database of people who like this type of advertising. And when you go back and say, if you like the menus, let me show you the directory you were doing for $100 or whatever you're going to charge.
And that's an opt-in strategy. Obviously, that makes it easier for the outreach, right? Yes. And then let's just say a restaurant said, "Here's all of our customers," right? Yeah. We could run all those customers, run it through the auto calling system. Hey, we know that you are a fan of such and such restaurant. we're reaching out to you on behalf of blah, 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 and we can turn this into an entire system of just making life easier. And then appointment booking for our reps, closing out directories in 15-day periods. Yeah.
And I'm also taking the proof of the menu that Dan sends me, and then I'm posting that on my social media sites. So I'm giving and they see it.
Yeah.
International Pocket sees me when I put it on Facebook or LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and they're ecstatic. Like, I didn't know you were doing that too. I'm like, I'm my job is to drive business to you. So when I go back to renew, they're excited.
Yeah.
It's-
It sounds good.
It is.
All right.
It's a
Yeah.
fun
Thank
thing.
you all. Thank you all for your time. I got to go myself, but
Okay.
hey, thank you all. Appreciate
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Good call. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
get
you.
out of
Thank
here,
you.
Ron.
Bye.
Get out of here, Ron.
No, I'll get out of here so you can talk about me. I'm right. All right.
Dan,
I'll talk to you later. All right.
Dan, is that pricing for the menus still correct on your website?
Yeah, $4.89.
Plus shipping, or is that
No,
included?
shipping included. Shipping, graphics, everything, all included.
Okay, yeah.
So
got it.
that's it's a great program.
Yeah, no, I'm going right now to sell to a menu. I'm going right. I got to pick up my license plate, and then I'm going. She said she's there at love it. She said she's
Look at
there
what
at
Greg pulled
5.
up. You see those-
In fact, the guy wrote my name down. He said, "I'm gonna tell the owner that you're coming at 5." Yeah, I love it.
That's the one I just delivered, and they love it. And actually, what was fun was some of these advertisers went down and got them so that they would have them for themselves. Like, oh my God, this car wash. This is a mobile car wash. Jason and his wife Danielle, they were out of their minds about how great it looked and how cool it was that they're being distributed. Because if you know Westerly, Rhode Island, that's where Taylor Swift has a house.
Oh yeah, sure.
Literally like a mile and a half away from this.
I'll tell you
restaurant.
guys a real quick story. Is we got this menu business going because of COVID, because so many restaurants were closing because of COVID, because they didn't have a takeout menu business. And so in one of the very first restaurants that we started was Capone's in Chicago. And it's a famous restaurant, and they almost closed. They almost closed because of COVID. And so when they got our menus, they started getting our menus, our takeout menus, and they started running all over town, distributing them. Come to Capone's and get our takeout menu, and it saved their business.
Wow.
And so their Capone's is they've been doing renewals with us now for almost 6 years.
Wow.
And that's what you'll find is these customers, they'll stay loyal to you. You'll build a database. The advertisers will love it because, like I said, where are you going to get 5,000 business cards for whatever you charge? I'm charging $2.99. And how are you going to distribute 5,000 business cards?
Eric.
The fact those advertisers are on Capone's, a famous restaurant,
Yeah.
and they're getting that card's going out to 5,000 people. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. There's one we just did. So we do Capone's every 3 to 4 months. That's the other thing about this menu business, guys, is it's every 3 to 4 months you have renewals. So it is a good business. It's a fun business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like definitely
Just-
see more about
Just
that.
a little FYI, don't go after chains. Don't go after, Pizza Hut or something like that.
Yep.
They're not going to do it. But you want to hit the local delis and the mom and pop pizza
Yep.
stores, and they'll thank you for it because, and we're starting to recognize that on the menus, we had some people say, well, I'm changing my prices all the time. So we're doing Pizza Vita. He has no prices on it. We drive them to the website.
Mm.
There's a QR code say, and then they can go to the website, see the prices and order there. And from this point on, Dan and I have agreed all the menus will have prices are subject to change due to the, changing in cost of supplies.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that will be on there. So if somebody says to you, well, I change my prices all the time, here's what you say. Well, that's great. So every time you change his prices, that means you're printing the menus again, right? Yes, that's correct. Let me show you a way to get around that. We'll print the menus for you and we'll put it with no prices on it and we'll drive them to your website, which is easy and cost effective to change the prices on.
Yep.
Because if they got to go out and reprint all the menus, it's going to cost them $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
If we do it for them, they're getting it for free, and all they have to do is change their prices on the website, and we'll use the QR code to send the customers there.
Yeah, when you go to the site, freerestaurantmenus.net, there's a training section. So everything that you guys want, you can just kind of pre-read it. You'll still have some questions. We'll go over all of that. But that'll at least get you a jump start. We've got forms on there. We've got the first dibs form for the program. and we'll kind of talk about that in our next meeting. But everything you want to know is right there. And then what we can do is we'll organize a meeting. Today's Thursday, so maybe Monday or Tuesday next week or Wednesday we'll do a separate meeting. I'll invite you guys, and we'll just do
Perfect.
a quick menu meeting.
And Dan, if it's okay, everybody has my contact information now. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy. We're a team. I'm more than happy to give you any advice I can. I've been doing it, and I don't know. We're on our 5th or 6th menu, I think, at this point. One of the advertisers that's going on the Pockets owns 3 ice cream stores. He's advertising at URI because he wants the students. And then I said, well, Mike, why don't you just get 3 menus yourself? Because that's a good idea. So it's just fun that one thing leads to another.
Yep.
And as Dan mentioned earlier, everything, as like he said, the menu that he got, or the directory, they recognize some modifications that they could do. That's part of growth. That's part of what we're doing. Everything we're doing is nobody handed you a book and said, here's how you do it. We're all learning together. We're all sharing as a team. We're all learning and growing and sharing the expertise and the trials and tribulations that we're experiencing as we go through this. So as we continue to grow, let's operate as a team. We're a national organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's awesome.
You know? So it can be fun. It's just make the calls.
Yeah. You guys have any other questions?
Not particularly.
No.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, cool beans. I will keep you guys posted. I'll probably get some stuff out to you yet today. So hang on there with me. And then as far as next week goes, we'll do a separate meeting so we can just talk about the menu part of it, because there'll be quite a bit that we could talk about just on that alone. And then we'll go back to our Thursday meeting next week on the directory. We're doing a little hopscotch here, but it'll work.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. Well, everybody have a good rest of your week.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You betcha.